Good morning. I made a video yesterday, but it didn't save. And I'm glad didn't get saved because the message wasn't coherent. It wasn't as straightforward as I wanted it to be. Not only that, my time is limited. Just like today, I got called in from work yesterday. Today I got called in the morning. I got a shift, which is good shit. But a point being is that I need to take more accountable for my actions more. I need to start keeping track of my expenses, what I eat, what I do throughout the day. But mainly what I expend and what I buy is what I need to take really more track of. Because I am 24, hitting 25 this month. Am I miserable? No. Am I satisfied? Fuck no. And there's lots of things I want in my life. And if I'm gonna get those things, I'm gonna have to change my life around drastically. I'm gonna have to start doing things, thinking things I never done before, or thought of doing before. And it's all scary. It's all terrifying. Because it's mainly just me doing it all alone. And yeah, I have support, but it's not like that support is with me constantly, giving me, it's not like that support is actively doing things with me. So I'm gonna have to take accountability more. So I'm gonna start documenting myself, my progress, day by day, or as often as I can. And this started with some of the YouTubers I've been watching lately. There are some YouTubers that I've watched that have been really putting things into perspective, making me focus more on myself, my mentality, my mindset, and what I do and how I do it. I'm going to start off with Elijah Long, the godfather of retard maxing. If you don't know who Elijah Long is, I'll do a brief little discussion about him right now. He is a YouTuber, a man YouTuber. I think he's in his late 20s, early 30s. He talks a lot about his young adult life and the fact some of the best things he's done or some of his enjoys moments of life was when he's not thinking and just doing, but doing with purpose, doing with intent, doing it with gumption, doing it with absolutely no idea what you're doing, just with instinct. Stop being an idiot and thinking and just be a retard and do. That's kind of like his gist. It's like, you're an idiot for overthinking. Because all this overthinking is imaginative. It's imaginary. Overthinking is imaginary. All these little scenarios you play out in your head, all the things you plan out to say but you don't say at all, all this scheming is stupid. It's a waste of my fucking time. I'm doing it for fucking years and it gets me nowhere. As a matter of fact, I feel like overthinking and scheming is a great way to get out of shit. Is a great way to not do things. It's not a great way to do things or start shit. It's a great way to not do things and not get things done. And that's what I've been doing for a while. It's just fucking thinking too much. And Elijah Long is always about stop being a fucking idiot and just be a retard. And just don't care. I mean, yes, you have to care, but care with the don't care to a point where it's dragging you down. Elijah Long talks about taking this philosophy and applying it to many aspects of your life, not just like he talks about it in friendships. He talks about it in ways with women. He talks it relate with work. Just with yourself too. Like, hey, if you want to just start something, do it. Don't care. Don't think. You're gonna make mistakes along the way. Of course, you make mistakes. What do you think you do? You can just straight up. You're perfect right at the bat. Like God, Jesus. No. Sorry for the noise. Just neighbors talking. But the point is, I listen to and watch his videos because he brings in that confidence in me where I have to dim down myself. Well, not dim down, more like stop imagining shit, stop fantasizing, stop imagining, stop scenarioing, stop scheming, and just apply yourself. And yes, recognize you're gonna make mistakes. Yes, you're gonna make errors. That's okay. You're learning as you're going. Fuck if you make mistakes. Good, make mistakes. What else is there to do? If you want to learn, you're gonna have to make mistakes. If you want to grow, you're gonna have to fail and then learn why you failed and then not do it again. And that's just much of what Elijah Long is about. It's like taking back yourself from yourself in his own way. And I'm trying to do that with my life. I'm trying to 360 and moonwalk away from my scenario. I'm trying to improve my life, and that's why I make this video, to document myself, so I can have accountability. Because if I make a video and I'm talking all this shit, right? I'm talking all these good things, and I'm not doing it myself, I just come off as a complete fucking loser. A complete fucking idiot. I don't want to be that, okay? And I think this is a solid way of making sure that I keep myself accountable. Now, there's another YouTuber I've been watching. I need to watch more of his videos because I just barely started watching him like this week. But his name is Daniel Barada. Now, Daniel Barada, I saw some of his videos about procrastinating and getting back into focus. Because I'll be honest with you, I have a hard time staying on track with some things. Like reading, writing, and stuff, and other things like I want to do and I want to be more active with. But the fucking phone has got my fucking mind trapped. It's got me doom scrolling. Like, I doom scroll for hours sometimes, and I'm just like, fuck. I go from Instagram to YouTube, YouTube to Instagram, Instagram to YouTube, and it's not YouTube videos, it's like YouTube shorts. I get so much time wasted because of this stupid habit of mine of being on my fucking phone doom scrolling when I should be doing other shit. I waste so much time. You have no idea how many hours I've wasted just on my fucking phone, being in my bed, being absolute lazy fuck. Wasting precious fucking minutes because I just want to watch some YouTube reels, some Instagram reels, or shorts, whatever, fuck. And it's not like just that takes away my focus. It's also other things. And I also realized this when I watched Daniel's videos because, yes, I recognize I make mistakes, but I continue making them. And with Daniel, he in one of his videos, he was talking about being focused, right? He's saying when you're doing stuff, when you're trying to get back into focus, what you need to do is realize that you're out of focus and change your course, adjust yourself to go back. He says that there's always going to be moments of relapse. You're no one's going to be consistently perfect all the fucking time. Ooh, I thought I had to sneeze. Man, I feel like I need to sneeze. He made an analogy of being focused like a airplane in the air. You know, it shows that it's traveling on a straight line, but it's never traveling on a straight line. Airplanes and jets are always adjusting to stay on course because there's a bunch of forces being pushed upon it from multiple directions. You know, all this wind and drag and wind pressures, gravity. You know, it's all messing with the airplane's line of course. So that's why the airplane's always is always on course. It's not always following course. It's, you know, adjusting every second. It's never a perfect straight line in the air. And that's what being focused is about. You know, you're adjusting yourself to stay back on focus. Yes, you're gonna relapse, but it's about how fast you get back on course is what matters. You know, you make a mistake, yes, but how fast are you gonna come back onto being on track, and how long can you keep it up? And I need to start doing more of that because of this fucking phone keeps taking my fucking time away. So, Daniel Barada is a good YouTuber. He has some other YouTube videos that I wanted to watch. One about changing yourselves. He also says when you want to be back on focus and stuff, you have to change your mentality about things. And this was another video too. I need to really focus down on Daniel Barada, even though I recently just watched him. There's a lot of good things he's talking about, and a lot of it is making sense, and I can apply it to my life too, because I really want to change myself, and if I want to, I need to start being easy on myself and take accountability and have systems in place for me to take accountability. Like this recording, this video is a way of me taking accountability, to setting myself so that I have to do something. Because if I'm talking all this and I make no progress, I've done nothing, do no significant changes, then what's it all for, right? You know, I'm just going to look like a loser. I'm just going to look like an idiot. And I hate that. So, yeah, fuck that. Give me a second. I had to refresh my mind on something. So the two videos I watched about from Daniel's channel was one about procrastination and consistency, and the other one was about achieving things effortlessly. So I already talked about the other one and my struggle with procrastination and having to set myself for success, which mean having to put myself out of an environment where my phone's not there, or having to do things so I can stay consistent, you know. And then the other video about achieving things effortlessly, it's more not like effortlessly, it's more like he talks about flows of like energy and stuff, and he's talking about turbulent flow and lumbar flow, I think. And one flow is being like kind of like effortless, like you see those videos where people are pouring something or draining something, and it's flowing so perfectly still and stuff, and it looks nice and beautiful and elegant and effortless. He's talking about that kind of flow. And then he's talking about turbulence, where the water is going so fast with so much velocity that it breaks form and flow, and it goes rapid. And he's saying that you should work where you don't force yourself. Where it's like you want to be lumbar 4, where it's like the flow flows with its own self. The flow goes on without having to have a force exerted on it. You know, the flow just goes because it's going. Instead of turbulent flow, where the flow is jagged, it's rush, it's going everywhere. It's not like, it's not flowing nicely. It's just like shh. And that's because, you're putting force into a flow that doesn't need that much force. So when you're putting a lot of force into it, you're just making a mess. You're making a turbulent flow in which the flow is just not smooth. It's not running nicely. It's all rushed. It's fast. It's breaking. It's splashing everywhere. It's going all around the place. It's like, it's not nice. It's not pretty. It's not a good flow. He's talking about, I need to watch those videos again and actually digest more of his content, because his content is informative. I'm not saying that it's boring or anything. It's just, it's a lot of information sometimes, and sometimes you need to rewatch things, and I need to rewatch that. But he's just talking about working at what suits you, where it doesn't feel forced and you don't feel pressure that you exert on yourself. You do things and it goes. You don't need to do more, you don't need to do less. You just do what feels like a good flow. Instead of working fast or pressuring yourself to do things, to make things, to pressuring yourself to be artistic, pressuring yourself to be consistent, all this excessive force, the energy just disperses all around and gets nothing done. So he's talking about that kind of stuff, and I like it, and I really need to apply what he says to my life. And there's one more YouTuber, Sam Sulk. Now, I'm not a fitness guy or anything. I'm not looking to get bulk or heavier, but the way he manages himself and his life to get results is astonishingly nice to look and hear about. And the way he discusses about what he does, so that he doesn't so he doesn't break his bulking cycle or his weight loss cycle. He wants to set up himself for success, so he does, and he does so by keeping track on what he eats, what he buys, what it means, and he plans out his meals, and it's very specific, and it's very anal, and he goes deep into some of the things he's talking about, where it's like, versus this versus that. This product has this amount of calories and this much fiber, this much carbs, which, some of these carbs, I don't, he talks about how some of the carbs you eat in foods are insoluble fibers, so you don't really digest those. You just, you just eat it and then you shit it out, and you don't really take any energy from it. And, he goes into details like that, where he's like, that's why I'm getting this bread. It has similar things, but it's less in carbs than this other brand name bread. And since it's less in carbs, it has less calories. It has a good amount of the same everything, just less in this and that. So, he's talking about, the calories he's intaking and having to really manage what he's getting for his weight loss cycle. Because he uploaded a new one recently, and I watched it, and it was really good shit. Because, he breaks it down where he's like, I want to buy enough food so where I can eat in the half the day, and in the rest of the first half of the day and the last half of the day. So when I go to bed, I don't go hungry. And because he says if I don't do this, the chances of me going in the pantry and stuff in my face increases. I know myself. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna fight it, but eventually, I'm human. I'm gonna go into that pantry and eat the pantry. And it's to avoid that, I want to buy enough food so I can eat at night, to eat something at night before I go to sleep, so you can avoid failure. And it's about setting yourself for success and knowing that you are human and you could make mistakes and you are going to make mistakes, and that's fine. Or it's fine, but there's ways to work around it. There's ways to not let it be like that, and he does it. He takes account of what he's taking, what he's buying, how much is gonna last him, what he's gonna eat with it, and how that's gonna make sure he doesn't overeat in any of the categories he's checking. So he's checking proteins, he's checking fats, oils, he's checking carbs, and sugars. So sugars, fats, protein, carbs. I feel like I'm missing something. Oil, fats, protein, carbs, sugar. Well, he keeps a track of the macros he's digesting, he's eating, and that's something I need to be more on top, is the discipline that Samshok has with his diet, with his life, and with his routine. I'm sure he has days where he's just wanting to focus on one thing. And you know what? That's something that I feel I need to do, is where I should have days where I'm dedicated to a certain thing. Because, wanting to do everything all the time is exhausting. It's time consuming. It's a waste of effort. If I'm doing a lot of things, little bits without the day, but not really making any progress long term for any growth, it's just okay, you're doing all these little things. It's not really benefiting. I want to do some prolonged action. For example, of art, drawing. I want to do a day of just drawing. That way I actually draw and I actually practice drawing and getting back into it, instead of just drawing something rushed for the day, a few hours, and then, or not even just a few hours, just draw for an hour to 30 minutes and then go to the next thing. I need to start having days and a routine, so I have scheduled times dedicated to certain activities. Because I'm sure that's what he does with his when he's training. He has certain days where okay, today I'm going to get the arm pump up. I'm going to work on my arm pump. Or today I'm going to work on the chest. My chest and the back. Whatever his routine is, I'm sure he has videos of it. And I've seen some of his videos about it. So, I need to be like that as well. Have a routine. Discipline myself. Not to a point where I'm driving myself crazy, but to a point where I'm actually content and satisfied with the work I've done, with what I want to do with myself, the changes I want. I need to make changes. And these YouTubers are all nice YouTubers. Sam Shulk, Elijah Locke, and Daniel Brada, they're all do different content and they all talk about different things. But I think these male YouTubers are really, really gonna help me out a bit with motivating myself. I could learn from them. They have many things I could learn. Because, let me be real with you. I'm 24, turning 25 by the end of this month. I'm not satisfied, really. I don't think a lot of people are. And I don't want to be those people that are just a lot of us are not satisfied. I want to do something for myself to get out of this. I want a satisfying life. Do I want it to be fucking amazing and fantastic? Yes, I want to be like a fucking movie. But let's be real. A lot of us are not going to have a fucking movie lifestyle. A fucking a life worthy of being in a fucking movie or being made into a movie. Okay, so it's not like I want that, but I want to do more. I want to feel better. I want to think better, and the only ways I need to do that is just do it. Doing the work, doing this YouTube stuff. Is this? I mean, I keep saying I'm not doing this seriously, but I mean, I'm doing this almost every day, and it does cost time and energy. But I mean, I'm not mad about it. You know, it's not something that I feel like this when I'm doing YouTube. I'm not. I'm kind of happy doing it. I'm kind of enjoying it. When I first started doing it, I was nervous. Now it's not like I'm still nervous. I'm still not knowing what I'm doing here. But it's like it doesn't matter cuz I'm just doing whatever I'm doing. I'm just being me. And I need to like embrace that. So I hope that I keep getting some really good concert from these guys, because these guys have some amazing things to hear. Even if you're not trying to bulk like Sam, even if you're not trying to change yourself like Daniel Brada and trying to help you with your mentality and mindset, even if you're not trying to get past some struggles, some emotional, mental struggles, by letting go and stop thinking and just start doing, like Elijah. You know, all these guys do different content but have such amazing messages and lessons that you can apply what they are doing to your life in different ways. And I need to start doing that. I really need to. I really need to get the fuck off my phone. I need to get my mind back on track. I need to get it onto a fucking track, onto a course. And even if I swerve a little, I'm cross-faded as fuck, on a course, my ass needs to get back on that shit. It needs to go, whoop. Oh, no, sir. Oh, I'm leaning too much to the right. I'm leaning too much to the left. I need to keep adjusting the wheel. Keep adjusting the plane. I'm only human. But yeah. So I'm making this video, and I hope you like and subscribe. If not, that's okay. But this video is mainly for me, to keep a track of myself, because I really, really need to change my life. I am at a point where I need to start taking things even more serious. Like, I have been taking things serious, but I've been very lazy. I've been procrastinating. I've been making excuses. I've been bullshitting myself, lying to myself, and I've been stagnant, complicit. I can't be no more. I can't afford to. I cannot afford to. I have to put in the effort to change everything. And I see some results in some aspects of my life. And that's not enough. So, yeah. Alright, I'm gonna get ready for work. Have a nice weekend. Well, Sunday. So have a nice Sunday. Let's see what this week holds in for us. I'm gonna have to really buckle down and really start being a huge. I don't even want. You know what? I have to go, but I'm really gonna have to put in a lot of work when I come back from work and this week, to really start planning things out, to start formulating, planning, and executing things. Because I've been noticing I have making progress. Not just, you see me looking around. I'm looking at my studio. I'm like, yeah, my pad has been looking better this month than last month. Is it It's like the best, no. But I realized I have improved my habits and I can continue improving each day. So, yeah. Have a nice Sunday. Let's get this week. Let's get this shit. Let's get it fucking started.